Greetings, listeners. Your host for the night, Zach, here again, introducing you to another episode of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. Our first few episodes back were recorded via Discord, so some audio quality issues will be expected. This podcast and all our other shows are brought to you by the amazing support of people such as Noops, Rainweaver, Alec, D-Devil1193, Alex Dudley, KJ, Chris D, and all our other supporters over on Ko-fi. Thanks for sticking with us through the hiatus. Visit our Ko-fi page to support the shows, get more podcasts, as well as limited stock items and special unlocks for Spacers and The Call. Again, thank you all for your support. If you're looking for Spacers and The Call merch or other projects we have on the go, please head over to our main website at twistedgearstudios.com. To participate in live edits for our podcast, join us at twitch.tv/twistedgearstudios every Sunday at 3 p.m. at Mountain Standard Time. But for now, last we left the crew, Grek has freed himself from the Tesseract. It has been an adjustment period for the crew, acclimating to their friend's change in relative demeanor. Now the crew must discuss their plans to return to the fight against Jovac with Grek's newfound powers and knowledge.
It's been 1 week since, it's been about a week since Grek has returned from the Tesseract. From your perspective, he never really left. It was like a blink and he was different, but still physically there. Grek, for you, you had just had a very long, you can kind of make a certain assumptions the amount of time that was in there, but in terms of being able to keep time, it was very limited what you were able to do. But yeah, you've been back with your old crew for the better part of a week now. Is there anything that you'd like to, how would you have been towards your friends over the past week so we can kind of kick off this session running?
I'm never by myself. Any one of them at any given time, somebody always has to tolerate the fact that I'm in the room with them, very close by at all times.
5.
Are you doing anything in particular?
Probably flinch more than anybody else. For the first ball, it would have been flinch. But after he probably made it clear that I was cramping his style by following him everywhere that he
I wouldn't say that.
Yes, you would.
Yes, I would.
You got to get your time in with Tim, too, right?
So I rolled a die to
then
see.
After that, I would have clung to other people.
Because I want to start this day off with, it's the beginning of the day. People are waking up. So I rolled to see who you would start today off with.
Okay.
If, assuming that you also try to sleep near someone so you're not by yourself, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For the purposes of this, the way I rolled a 5, which is Tim. We're going to start today off. Tim's going to wake up and you're in his sleeping quarters. How would you like to... Would you be awake before him? After? How do you want to start today off with Tim?
Oh, I'd probably be awake before because, I've had a lot of time to catch up on my sleep. So, I don't feel tired.
Okay.
If anything, I probably feel energized being around people. So he might just wake up and roll over and I'm just lying there staring at him. Hi. Good morning. Did you sleep well?
Yes.
Would you like some coffee or maybe some tea? I make really good tea.
He seems like A, really confused that you're asking, and B, questioning of the reality of that statement.
It's fair. That's a fair assessment.
More of a tea, but roll me a persuasion check. Fuck it.
Ooh, persuasion with my new sheet? It's probably not going to be much better.
No, that's it.
Well, yeah, your diplomacy still isn't too bad because you actually put ranks into it, remember?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I rolled a nat 20 for my first one.
Okay, all right. That's how we're going to start the session off. That's fantastic. Okay, so Tim...
I won't tell you what my actual total is.
We'll just go with the nat 20. I'm okay with not
disgusting.
shitting myself. All right. So Tim you get the sense that he's good, like he's about to just kind of like get up and walk away. He just, well, I am more of a tea person if you are offering.
Let's go make you some tea.
All right then. Grabs like this weird, like tattered fucking bathrobe. One of the only things he actually took from the heap with him when he was kidnapped. And
He wasn't kidnapped.
and waddles on out of his room. The rest of you guys, as you periodically enter the mess hall, you see that Tim is sitting in a bathrobe and Grek is making tea. How would you all like to start your day?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I would probably be up pretty early. Wiping down the counters.
Diantha, if you're there first, you see Grek proudly walking in with Tim tucking in his bathrobe right behind.
Yeah, Greg's also got his arm linked in around one of Tim's. Physical contact is very important.
Yep. It's a weird sight.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like some tea? I'm gonna make some tea.
From you?
Who else here makes tea?
Tim kind of just quietly raises his hand.
We a lot of people, all of us, Septic especially. I feel like this is well established at making tea.
I'm gonna
This is
wander
when
in.
I'll walk in.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
walk in with with Laurel.
Okay.
Good morning. Would you like some tea? I'm gonna make some tea.
Steal Clippy's tea? Did he steal your tea? Weird.
And I'm just gonna go over and I'm going to use a completely different other thing to boil my water and basically make my own tea because I don't trust Grek's tea. And I'm just gonna be like, I don't know if did you take some of my tea, Grek?
Oh no, because what is that thing you're doing with the water? I don't do that.
Boiling it? You don't boil your water for tea?
It's kind of an essential ingredient, isn't it?
Oh,
and I'm just
no.
gonna look at everyone like, what is going on?
It's the only instruction. If there was a recipe book, it would say boil water.
The indignation.
You're all just weird. And I take Tim by the hand and I bring him over to the counter to make his tea. One hand makes the tea, and the other hand holds on to whoever is next to me. Right now it's Tim.
Tim, yeah.
I'm making sure I'm boiling enough water for everyone else.
Tim just like
in the area.
quietly looks at you,
should
Cliptic, and just
probably
goes,
include Tim in that scenario as well.
I am.
Tim just mouths the words "thank you" to you, Cliptic, as you boil water.
So, what's everyone's plans for today? What are we doing?
Where is Flint here yet? I don't think Flint is here yet, is he?
No. I have a question, Zach.
Yeah.
You said it's been a week?
Since Greg's been back, yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to work out if I had a week to build things, I could have built 3 things.
Oh, well then pick 3 things from your list.
Yeah, and I'll so it seems like a little bit of a lull now that the tea conversation is dying down. So Flinch is going to walk on into the mess hall, whatever you guys call it.
It's a room where you eat.
Yes, the room where we eat. That's what we call it.
Sit on cardboard boxes with a big cardboard box in the middle.
Yeah. And he's sort of dragging behind him, and it looks like just like clothes, like it's really reflective, wrapped up, and he's a rope around it, and he's sort of pulling it behind him, and he just sort of looks at everybody, and he's like, what are you all doing?
And when he gets there, Grek, while still holding on to Tim with one hand, tries to stretch as far as he can to see if he can get a hold of Flinch.
I'm probably like 10 feet away from you.
All right, well, then I'm probably going to end up dragging Tim with me because he's pretty malleable. And I'll grab a hold of Flinch as well and just kind of hold on to the two of them. Good morning.
Yeah. Okay, so while you're all having tea, I just finished up some new protective clothes, if you will, for some of us to wear. Specially made. I had to do some alterations because it's a Yosoki variant of clothes. Has a bit of a metallic sheen, shines a little bit. It's almost like you're a ninja.
Do ninjas shine?
Yeah, so no.
I mean,
So he
maybe.
holds up one, and it looks like a reinforced jumpsuit layered with energy reflective foil.
Sick.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it stands out a little bit. It's called a Yosoki refractor suit, and there is one for Cliptic, one for Diantha, and one for Grek. That's the three.
Greg, this is the first time in nearly 250 or 205 years that you have seen clothes without holes in them.
Don't put holes in them.
Right, what was it called again? Can you repeat that?
It's a refractor suit.
Refractor suit. Okay.
Refractor suit, yeah.
I'm gonna take it and I'm going to just say, thank you. Is this for Ecliptic 1 or for Ecliptic 2?
Oh, jeez.
I guess you can share. I mean, don't tell me I got to make another list for Ecliptic 1.
I mean, we've never seen both of them in the same room at the same time, so it makes sense to be able to share it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't?
yeah. They could share it. They could share it.
This
Yeah.
is going in on it.
You'll be
We've never
honest,
seen
you've
them
seen
in the
them-
same room.
You have once. You have once.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So
Wait,
just
no,
very quickly.
Wait, no. Huh.
So just very quickly, you can update. So basically, what this armor gives you, if you look at your armor class, your EAC and KAC, the armor bonus for your EAC and your KAC will both be 7.
My if just got so much higher.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because what you were wearing before was like as lower level gear. So, but this is +7, and you add your dexterity modifier to it, and whatever other bonuses you have, and that'll give you your new EAC and KAC.
Not very dexterous, are you, Diantha?
Okay.
Well, to be fair, I'm not as light-footed as I once was.
Okay.
That's fair.
So, specifically, Diantha's, you notice that yours is shining a little bit purple. There's this purple sheen on it. Flinch, yeah, says, oh yeah, so yours has a built-in force field.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Yeah, so it's completely invisible, but whatever. But you can just activate or deactivate it as an action. What your force field does is it has what's known as 5 temporary hit points when you put it up, and every round it regenerates 2 hit points up to 5. So basically, in the first round, if you got shot, the force field takes the first 5 points of damage,
Mhm.
and then every subsequent round it goes up by 2. And if you don't get hit, you know what I mean? You just add up.
Yes.
And Grex. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. Grex has a. Grex is there's a reddish sheen to it. There's this reddish sheen. So Grex, yours, it has a thermal capacitor in it, so it protects you from extreme temperatures. You exist comfortably in conditions between minus 50 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And it gives you cold and fire resistance 5. So cold damage or fire damage, you minus 5 off it. Yeah.
That's dope.
Cool. I like it.
Okay.
Did my armor just give me the bonus just for protection? It didn't do anything, right?
No, it does something. I'm just going through each person.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And as he's walking around handing this stuff out across the room, I'm still hanging on to one part of him, walking around the room with him, and I'm dragging Tim behind me.
I also at one point want to try to sneak my proper cup of tea into Tim. It was like with the awful cup of tea to make sure Tim doesn't die.
Sleight of hand with -2 because Greg's holding on to him.
Actually, Cliptic, your armor doesn't have a built-in ability. There's something else that we'll build that compensates for you not having it in your armor.
Okay.
Because it's something that me builds together.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I tried to balance every character's, you know what I mean? The stuff.
Oh no, that's fine. I just didn't know if I had missed that because I did lose some feed at some point in the.
Yeah.
in
No, I
recording.
was just looking at it. Yeah. So that would be. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Hey, I'm glad that just my armor class just went, or my EAC and my.
Oh, you got some other stuff coming your way, Cliptic.
I rolled a 13, but I had a plus 10 for sleight of hand, so it's 23. -2 is 21.
Okay, Cliptic. Oh, sorry, not Cliptic. Grek. What's your? I'm gonna treat it like a passive
my plus on
perception. Yeah, what's your
perception?
plus to perception? You're not gonna roll for it because you're too distracted.
My plus to perception is 22.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Cliptic.
So the better question is, do I care that Cliptic is giving Tim tea?
Well, you guys can act this out however you see fit, but Grek, you watch as you're going over to, you're wandering around and you pass Cliptic, you see that Cliptic kind of just grabs the cup out of Tim's hand and hands this other one, and then they both just awkwardly stare at you as the entire group in the room freezes.
And I'm gonna reach over and be like, nice, Lipstick, and grab the gross cup and down it.
Grek squints a little suspiciously, but then he lets go of Tim because now he wants to try and hold on to Flinch while also putting on this new refractor suit at the same time with his other arm.
And like helping a kid with a snowsuit,
Oh my
Flinch
God.
helps Greg get into his new armor.
Well, then Grek doesn't need to roll anything, but Laurel, fortitude saving throw, please.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, Greg's probably gonna be naked again at some point.
All of you will saving throw. No, I'm kidding.
18.
18. You down it. It's not the worst thing you've ever had. No adverse effects.
Eh. I've had some gross things in my life.
This was definitely the best of the gross, but in that ballpark. It's chunks in it.
So, how long were you in the Tesseract, Greg?
Yeah, actually, I was wondering that.
And when you ask him and he starts to think about it, you can see one eye kind of starts to twitch a little bit. And he starts to it was a long time.
So, is it like a big library or something?
That would have been horrible.
Oh, I thought that's funny.
No. No. Why would you even say that to me? We're supposed to be friends.
What do you mean supposed to be? You've almost killed me 12 times.
Not on purpose.
That is very true. That is very true. No, I was just wondering, like, was there any information in there on, like, how to make tea?
Mostly there was a lot of racquetball.
Oh,
Racquetball?
yeah, Greg calls it that, but he just runs around screaming, throwing balls all over the place. It's a racket.
So I'm sorry, you're saying you were trapped for who knows how long in a racquetball court? And you came out smarter?
It was roughly 200 years, 36 days, 5 hours, and 22 minutes. I don't think I can count that high.
Rough.
Who
That's
taught
a
you
lot.
numbers? Who taught you numbers?
The racquetball court, clearly.
Which is just me running around the dining room, bouncing the ball. Mostly just bouncing the ball.
Every now and then just screaming out, racket!
My ball
Okay.
bouncing skills are phenomenal now.
Oh God.
And you were alone? And you were alone that whole time?
Yeah. Yes. Sort of. I had, there was someone with me, but they didn't really talk at all.
That's-
Very much at all.
Was
How
it
do
a
you-
person?
I don't know. Can we talk about something else now?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
His eyes just start twitching again.
when
There's
you
a
came out-
goblin. They're basically pack animals, and I was by myself for 200 years.
Well, actually, yeah. When you came out, you said we're not ready. And they said there's no way we'd be able to face Jovac. So we were thinking, and last time we talked about this, we said we were going to go face off against that matriarch chick.
Hmm.
I'm probably going to kill her, or at least stop her. I'd rather kill her. It's easier. But
Yeah.
when do we?
Is it easier?
How long are we planning on waiting before we go do that?
Well, it depends. Ecliptic, how much longer do you think we need to prepare for it?
I'm going to
Ask
say
Flinch. He's the
we're
one making
gonna.
stuff.
Well, I mean that's what I was going to get at as well. We need to be as equipped as possible. I mean, we know what we've come up against. We came to that one place where they were experimenting on swarms, so guaranteed there's going to be a lot more to fight. And I personally would like to be a little more prepared before going against this matriarch. Having experience from her, she's very, very dangerous, powerful, and ruthless. So I would say if we've got we have the time dragon. She said that they'll send us somewhere in particular. So really we've got a good chunk of time, not eternity, but we have a good chunk of time to prepare. And I think that's probably wise.
Hope not eternity. There's not enough monkeys to shoot.
There's always more monkeys.
I will get whoever has the highest intelligence or wisdom. I would like you to roll a willpower. It's just an intelligence check. It's just D20 as your intelligence modifier.
15 for intelligence.
22.
Jesus, what?
I rolled.
22.
I rolled
Oh.
an 18.
Okay.
I also have a 22.
Why is my
Oh yeah,
highest score
yours is
17?
still higher than mine. Yours is
No,
still
that's what
higher
he
than
rolled.
Grek.
He rolled a 22. He didn't have a intelligence.
Yeah, I rolled an
I thought
18.
that at first, and I was very confused.
Yeah. Okay. So because Cliptic's saying it, I'm going to say that Flint, this is what occurs to you. Just the exact words that Kala had mentioned. That yeah, she'll take you to any when that you ask, but it will always be here, just here in this physical place at that when. But that whilst technically you could just sit here and wait for 30 or for 25 years until you get at some unknown point, it's never been recorded when Jovac arrives and discovers this place. He will discover this place with his army.
The monkeys might kill us before that happens.
Well, the thing is that we can basically... Flinch is just going to speak up. Yeah. We can basically stay here and prepare. Eventually, Jovak's going to show up for the first time, so we need to be prepared to have some advance notice or sensors or something when he enters the system, so that way at that point we have to skedaddle.
Or we could kill him then. Was there a reason we couldn't do that?
He's more powerful than the matriarch, right? He's like
Damn.
the big bad.
Well, I mean, it's all good and dandy, but we need to get rid of Prime. Right? Is Jovak Prime showing up, or just a version of Jovak?
Whatever version is going to find this place is the one that's going to show up at some point. However, remember, you are in an alternate version of this history. So whatever Jovak you kill will not affect anything that matters to you guys.
So we could kill him, but it'd be useless.
You could try to kill him,
but it'd be useless.
because the last time you fought him, it was just him. You got to avoid his army. This time it will be a younger Jovak with an army. You could try, and if you do succeed, you get the sense that it won't have a huge effect to either tasks you have ahead of you.
Yeah, it's just a worthless endeavor.
I'd rather go kill some bugs. Lippy, are you okay if I kill lots of bugs?
I mean, as long as it's not of my kind, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll kill the matriarch instead.
Well, I mean, you can kill the... Okay, sorry, clarification.
Yeah.
The swarm and my species, we are derived from the same, but we are kind of different.
Yeah,
right?
Hundreds of years ago, Sheerans were a swarm. And a virus kind of seconded a good portion of the swarm away and became individuals. And you've just descended from those beings. So they are long-lost ancestors of yours. And then your opinion on your relationship with them is up to you to determine.
Right. Okay. So, clarification. Laurel, you can kill swarm, just not any of my kind.
You'll point them out?
I mean, it's pretty obvious which ones are which, but sure.
Yes.
That's Bugsist.
Don't shoot me. Is what I'm
I
also
can do
getting
that.
at.
Or Cliptic 1.
Yes, that's true.
Don't shoot either Cliptic.
We can't keep this going forever, can we?
But if you have to shoot one, shoot Cliptic 1.
What do you got here right now?
So, hey,
right,
I sort of
wait, you're Cliptic. Which one is...
So I'm wearing the scarf right now, so I'm Cliptic 2.
Wait,
What
really?
is wrong with Cliptic 1?
I never said there was anything wrong with Cliptic 1.
You obviously don't like Cliptic 1.
No, listen. Cliptic 1 isn't here. Therefore, Cliptic 1 mustn't care too much about what's happening at the moment. You seem to be on
my tea.
Yeah, you seem to be on the ball, Cliptic 2. You're on the ball.
You're right. He seems to be lacking in some areas. I agree with you.
He's barely ever around. Look, what's he
Laurel
doing?
Laurel just continues to look confused.
It's almost like they've never been in the same room at the same time.
But they have been.
One of them didn't move. One of them literally just.
Well, no, that's not true. Diantha, if you remember, or not Bailey, if you remember, I used some of my spells to make it move.
Yeah.
Lipdick is the perpetrator of this circumstance, not Flinch.
I am in hell.
Hell 1 or Hell 2?
Is Satan wearing a scarf?
Hell 2 comes with a scarf.
Helsinki.
You just switch out the tea for whiskey at this point.
Okay.
Roll me a fortitude saving throw.
Oh my god. Okay, am I good at that? I don't.
You might be worried
15.
if you passed 15?
16.
16? You get a +2 to all charisma checks and a -2 to all intelligence checks. Or sorry, no, to all wisdom checks.
Okay.
Should you stop drinking, let me know. We'll address that part afterwards.
Since we're apparently here for a while, and Flinch, you're making all kinds of awesome stuff. Should we maybe go back to the temple, check it out, get you some more supplies?
Well, yeah, if we're going to stay here and try to, like, gear up better, we need to be constantly trying to scrounge up whatever we can find.
Did we ever go through that camp we invaded and ransacked it for supplies?
Nope, you just grab the Tesseract and bugger it out.
Maybe it'd be
Well,
good
let's
to go
do
back
that.
there.
Yeah, we could always
Yeah.
go back and investigate. Like, we took what they needed. Maybe they left, or, you know, they're doing something else. Who knows?
How are we doing on food and medicine supplies?
Well, me and Tim alone survived here and what we could find to eat.
May-
We can
Oh,
put
yeah.
survive in brackets, I think, for that.
As he says it, Tim
I
just
don't
does this in the
want-
background, air quotes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand, and I commend you that you did that, but I don't want brown times in my future.
Well, exactly. Me and Tim have already figured out what will give us brown times, and that's what we'll avoid. I'm not going to feed you brown time veggies.
This is why we keep Tim around.
Thank you.
I do think, though, that at the camps there might also be food there as well. So anything that's a useful supply is probably a good one.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, and we should probably go check it out anyway.
Maybe they'll have a stash of tea since, monkeys destroyed most of it, a while ago. Small tear comes out of my eye.
Pat you on the head. It's okay. All right.
I start making little purring sounds when she pats me on the head.
Little chitness clicking sounds of the mandibles.
I was gonna say, how
Yeah.
do bugs purr?
Chitness clicking.
Shit in this clip.
Creepy. Stop it.
All right. Well, I guess we should pack up and make our way out.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so the whole lot of you are preparing to go back to the campsite, to my understanding.
Yeah.
So once you guys all suit up at the opening to the cargo bay of the ship, Tim's just gonna be sitting there waving you guys off for the day, looking like Baby Yoda with a cup of soup there, just standing there with a big bathrobe and a cup in his hands, just waving as the door closes. And
Where'd you get that?
yeah, you guys are in the woods. Because you kind of bungled the route back from the campsite, I will need someone to make a survival check. It's not going to be as hard because you have been there once before. It was bungled on your return trip.
Does anyone have ranks in survival?
I have 2, but I'm not proficient in it.
The 3 is.
So, Cliptic?
I get a +8. I'm guessing that Grek will be better.
I have a +9.
Oh,
Damn.
How much am I allowed to use the stats I have right now?
I leave that to Grek, the character, to determine. You, Grek. So let's just say, I'm going to say this out now, just so the people who are listening can kind of get an understanding of this as well. Grek, you are aware that you have a superior degree of prowess over your compatriots at this time, and you are still trying to sort through certain memories. You are able to tap into alternate versions of yourself to pull some of this information and these skills, which is why the numbers are much different for you than for everybody else. So I'll say that it would be up to Grek's personal character choice to determine if he wants to showboat or hamper himself and let the others take lead. It would be a character choice to balance out that juggling of alternate skills and versions of you that had those skills and what's happening now. You could even
So-
hypothetically roll and choose not to add your skill if you wanted to dumb it down to a degree. It's up to your RPG choice.
So normally, Greg doesn't really do the survival rolls very often, does he? It's usually
No.
Laurel that does
we don't
them.
let you. We don't let
Yeah.
you do survival rolls.
So all right, so Greg's gonna keep his hand down, so it can be left to Clip, Dick, and Laurel if they're the ones who have the ranks
So-
right now.
So it'd be Cliptic.
Go for it, Clippy.
Okay. Oh God.
Yep.
All right.
Good luck. I mean, you'll be fine.
Will I?
We'll see.
I'm watching for monkeys.
Well,
Well, that's not bad actually. 23.
23. Now, at very first glance, you're like, okay, we made a path here. We could go. It can't be gone already. There is no path that was trodden out. Whatever path you guys carved out to get to where you had gone, the forest has restored itself and fixed it. But the sky is the same. So are some of the major landmarks, the positioning of the temple, and Cliptic, you are very deftly able to lead your team through the forest in about 2 hours of walking time. You are able to come upon this campsite. Unless anybody has anything they want to do over the course of that 2 hours, I will continue with the campsite description. No?
As we get closer, I'm going to move off into the bush, only around 10 or 15, maybe 20 feet at the most away from the party, and use stealth to see if, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Just in case something happens, at least we can get the jump on it.
Roll me a stealth check.
I'm gonna activate my new armor and get that plus 5 temp HP as well.
Little energy barrier broods, and you could visibly see the activation, and then once it's fully activated, wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. Stealth check?
I got a 22 on my stealth.
Jesus!
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, so
I got a plus.
Very nice.
as you guys, you're not entirely sure if you're at the clearing yet, but you are beginning to see charred trees and some blown back trees from the explosion you left behind. And it's at that point that you guys watch as Flinch kind of just like hunkers down and goes into the tall grass that is well above his head height. Disappears into the woods. Diantha pulls out the barrier. Anybody else, if anything they wish to do before coming into visual range of the hole?
How far away are we from the camp?
You're sensing that you're not entirely sure exactly how far, but you're getting that you're pretty close, probably within 80 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Never mind then. I can't use the thing.
What thing?
When we get
When I get closer to the camp, like within 30 feet, I want to use one of my abilities, which is called blind sense. I can sense vibrations.
So blind sense kind of functions similar to it's basically like an alternate form of sight. So it's not really an ability that you need to trigger. It's should you wish to make a perception check, you get added. You can find different things than people who just use their eyes could find.
Okay, well, when we get closer, then I'd like to do that. If
Cool.
that's good.
Laura was going to jump in with something.
I was just gonna say when we get close to the edge, I want to pause and do a perception check to see if I see anyone moving around in the area in the clearing.
Okay. Well, everybody but Flinch, you guys approach you start to see a clearing kind of cropping up. You're getting pretty close to it. I will get, for those two that have asked, Cliptic and Laura, please roll me perception checks real quick as you're getting up close.
9.
Wow, what a hole.
27.
Goddamn.
Nice.
I have a 12 in perception.
All right. As you approach the hole, or the crevice, the crater, if you will, as you approach the crater, most of you guys are kind of focusing your attention if something is in the crater, but Cliptic, your attention is drawn away from the crater. It starts soft, and it's not really a thing you would have noticed, but at the last second, there is a much heavier boom, something vibrating. You can stop your friends and halt everybody real quick. And
Do I have an idea of direction?
it's coming from, so if you're facing north, it's coming from the east of you.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of wave to stop everyone, because I'm assuming we're still on comms, right?
Yeah, we should be.
Okay. And I'm gonna quietly say on comms, being like, I sense that there's something big over there, and I'm gonna point in the direction of the vibration. And I'm just gonna make a comment like, I don't sense anything in the camp, but definitely over there.
Is it in the direction where I'm in the woods, or is it away from me in the woods?
Apologies, no, I envisioned you headed westwards.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
you're not in your
Yeah,
direction.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Start.
Stop and
Any immediate
look in
action?
the direction that
Yeah.
something is pointing.
I'm gonna start sneaking toward that direction to see if I can get a visual of what is making that noise.
All right.
Yeah, Grek will do the same thing, actually.
I think I will also stealthily make my way that way.
Okay.
I'll take point.
Everybody except Lynch, make me a stealth check. Lynch has already made his, that's fine.
9.
Greg's 9.
Being a theme here.
Greg's stealth will be interesting.
18.
I'm intrigued.
35.
Yeah.
30.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Look at you, baby!
I'm still here in
Okay.
single digits.
Damn. Let me pull something
You
up
should
here.
play
Don't worry.
virtual.
Don't worry, we'll protect you. We'll just
Okay.
cover you with
Roll.
all of us.
Cliptic's
So-
rolls are really good virtually so far.
Laurel, as you turn around, we're like, all right, cool, and you're ready to go with your group, you turn around, you're by yourself in the woods.
What? What? I just start walking in circles. Glyptic? Lynch?
Use your
Me?
comm. It's Flint's sword that goes over the comm.
Ah!
Stop,
Swing around.
stop screaming. Use your
Oh,
comm.
right.
I'm gonna go up to Laurel, and you know that thing where they see where that happens, and like a little hand comes out and pulls the person down into like the long grass. I'm gonna totally do that.
Yoink! You're like shepherds
plan.
pulled into the forest. All right. You all head towards the west a little bit, or the east a little bit. You can still see the edge of the crater. You haven't quite gone close up to the crater to investigate it yet. But as you approach, and you can feel the steps getting boom, boom, getting bigger and more close, you stop yourselves at a certain point, and
Yeah.
even over the trees, this thing is towering. You have seen this thing before, once deceased and once far off.
Oh.
But a sphinx-like body steps on through the trees, and you watch as you got to a point you went, probably shouldn't go any further. Claw right in front of you as it brushes the ground. And this large stone-like sphinx without a head, this glowing orb atop its neck stalk, and these vines and wisps of strange energy kind of spiraling off of this almost orrery-esque sphere on its head. Seems to be walking on past you. Is there anything anybody wishes to do as this creature heads on by? Cliptic's like, hell no!
It's just walking. It doesn't seem to be like looking around for anything or following something or chasing something.
It does not
Or
seem
being
to
chased.
be.
Can I get a read on what it's like, what it's doing, like where it's trying to go?
What skill would you want to use? There's a couple skills you could try for this, depending on what one you choose. I will give you different information.
Sense motive.
Sure, roll me a sense motive.
Okay, get a sense motive. Oh baby, it's gonna be a good number. Okay, 16 plus 11 is 27. Plus a d6, 28. Sense
Okay.
motive.
I don't recall if you guys did any research on this being yet.
I think we learned a little bit about it.
Yeah, we knew the name of it. I just can't remember what it was.
So
Like a
this
golem.
this creature is known as so I think the information you were able to get, but not much more than this, as only one of you had done the check, was this is a kale core.
Yeah.
And with the 28, you get the sense that it has not noticed you. But it does approach the crater, and it does stop, and it seems to survey the crater. It's a little hard to tell because the way that its head is it does not have eyes or any semblance of perceptive capabilities. It just seems to be sitting at the edge of the crater, surveying it.
Guarding it, perhaps.
You don't get
Maybe it.
You don't get the sense that it's guarding. You get the sense that it's like it's inspecting. It hasn't gotten a chance to get here before now.
Maybe like it knew the Tesseract was there. Maybe it could sense the residual energy or something. Maybe. I suggest we just stay still until it, goes away.
I agree. I agree. I can use ghost sound in a distance far away, maybe to distract it. Or to draw it away.
I think it's really smart.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Right? And it might even sense magic, who knows?
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think these things mean us any harm. They seem like they're largely just
Well, they seem like
protectors.
I remember seeing it like attack forces coming down to the planet.
Yes, to protect the
And
planet.
stuff like that. But if it's like a guardian, we don't know if it's going to try to protect things from us.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's maybe...
The other thing is too is sorry, I'm not remembering. It's been so long since we played. Is that supposed to be the same one that we found at the beginning of the temple? It's not dead yet, right?
Correct.
No.
Okay. So I also don't think we should do it harm, because obviously it had a fight with something. It could have been Shovak when he showed up. And we want to put as many barriers in his way as possible.
I wonder if it's worth talking to.
Okay. Greg's going to do something impulsive.
Oh,
I like impulsive.
Okay, so near this Sphinx thing, and around the crater, are there any like really large like boulders or whatever? Just like very large rocks that you could climb up on?
Most of the rock-like debris was destroyed in the explosion, but there are some tipped over trees, so it's counts as cover, but not as much cover.
So I'm basically looking for something that would be large enough for Grek to sit on with his legs crossed or whatever, like in a relaxed stance. It's basically
in sight of this thing?
Yes.
I'll say that's not very hard for you to do at all. If you actually head towards the crater, you could find some kind of mound that you could rest on. So assuming you're leaving your compatriots to look at the crater.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point I will describe the crater to you, as this will kind of help determine some of your choices. The crevice at the center of the crater is still present, but instead of just a steady drop off, it seems to have been widened a bit, and the ramp, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, that goes down into it is smoothened out as more of it has collapsed and caved in to create a wider, almost secondary bowl that goes down to where the tunnel should be, or where the entrance to the Tesseract chamber should be. However, the chamber entrance proper has been completely smothered by debris. It's almost like a secondary spherical divot in this already divoted crash site. Originating from the site of where the ship used to be, as it is no longer there. Just this big black charred piece where these vines have already begun to grow as if to take back the actual scarred area that the ship had crashed into. All of the Seven's equipment is still there. You get the sense that no one has returned to grab the equipment. Whatever was toppled over in the escape remains in its toppled over state. There's even a cooler that is the perfect size for Grek to sit on, stare at the Kale core.
Okay. So, over the comm, Greg's just going to say, wait here for a moment. And basically what I want to do is I want this thing to not see me until I'm already sitting on some tree or debris or something within its line of sight.
You rolled a 35 stealth. I'm not going to get you to roll again. That's a great number. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So if you're a Kale core and you're looking at this crater, all of a sudden, assuming whatever you would have it do, if I'm in its line of sight, I'm just going to be sitting looking at it, waiting for it to notice me, like on top of some kind of debris or whatever.
All right. The rest of you, What do you do as soon as you hear Grek saying he's going to go do something stupid?
Sit
I
back and
grunt.
watch.
It's impulsive, man.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
I'm probably going to be like, and just kind of like not know what to do and just freeze.
Stay there. That's why I said stay there.
Okay.
Stay.
So y'all are more or
Yeah.
less just sitting there and
I'm going to sit there and watch and see what happens.
Yeah, pretty well.
Grek,
I mean, there are other creatures who live on this planet, so I mean,
yeah, usually monkeys and shadow panthers.
shit.
I am going to I'm going to take out my gun and just have it ready. But that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay. I wanted to check something, and I could be wrong, and if I am, we might have to run away. I mean,
What do you mean, we?
Well, yes, I might have to run away. You guys are all still currently not noticed by this thing, so I might have to run away.
Who knows? It might know where
Who
we all
knows?
are anyway.
Maybe.
Hey.
The Aslan vibes, so.
The Aslan vibe, yeah. Yeah. If Aslan had a tree for a head, he would have been a kill.
Yeah.
1 second.
Hopefully you're not bringing up a stat block.
Bringing up? No, I already had it up. I'm reading something else about it
Okay.
real quick.
Okay.
So if it's
Okay.
Aslan, who's everybody else? Who's Susan?
You guys can determine that in the chat later. All right. Grek, you kind of like crawl on all fours. You get up to this like cooler. You jump up and you sit. At this point, by just sitting there, Aelcor does not seem to move or react in any way. What would you like to do first?
First, I'm going to question my actions, and then
Ooh, character growth.
I know, and it's more than just the growth he has on his back. It's actual emotional growth.
Gross.
Ew.
Yeah.
I quit.
Anyway. Okay, so I'm afraid, but okay, I am going to speak and say they haven't come back.
As soon as you
That's it.
speak and address it, you see the orb begin to kind of like rotate around, and the shoulders shift as if there were a head. It's now looking down at you. The rest of you, couple meters, several hundred meters behind it, see that its legs, its hind legs, lift up, and its forward claw-like hands step on down into the crevice, and it lowers its canine-like upper torso down so that the orb is right in front of Grek.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Spacers. For a live editing Q&A of the show, please visit twitch.tv/TwistedGear Studios. We also have other shows like World Building Wednesdays, as well as regular gaming on Fridays. If you have any suggestions of what you would like us to do next, please leave us some comments and messages on Ko-fi and Facebook. Leave us a review on your platform of choice, as it really does help. Until then, our next episode will air Tuesday, August 17th. The call list is still on hiatus, but we will be back recording new episodes in August. You will be hearing from us soon. Music and ambient tracks in this episode licensed through Triune Films and Artlist. Your players this evening were Bailey Yarkey, Derek Snow, Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, and Lindsay Delansky. And I was your host and GM, Zach Barrett. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.